Hi everyone, I'm so glad you're here because I have a very interesting show for you and people for you to meet. Our first guest is an entrepreneur and CEO committed to increasing entrepreneurship domestically and abroad. He is a graduate of University of Virginia with an ME in Systems and Information Engineering with a special focus on complex system analysis. His company is transforming ideas into opportunities by facilitating professionals working to transition into entrepreneurship. And then you will meet the president and CEO of PRS Incorporated. PRS Incorporated is a community-based nonprofit behavioral health care organization dedicated to helping people living with mental illness, substance abuse disorders, and mild intellectual disability. Under her leadership, that nonprofit Times has named PRS Incorporated as the nation's 50 best nonprofits to work for in 2011, 2012, 13, and 14, including year 15. And then, of course, we'll hear from our youth correspondents about friendship as well as Black history. So buckle up. We're going to have a good ride today. So welcome to the show, Thomas Calhoun. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Excellent. So tell us first about your company.
So we started CATALYSTIC actually back in 2007, and before we finished graduate school. And then I did some government consulting for about 5 years, and say from 2008 through 2014, so maybe 6 years. And then I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more personally fulfilling. So I focused on, I got out, left government consulting, and started focusing on entrepreneurs locally and sort of not so locally in different areas in the country that I met through speaking engagements, just to mentor them and help them get their businesses off the ground.
Wow. So CATALYSTIC, the mission of your company.
So we are really committed to ensuring that people who have an interest in working professionals can start their businesses and find fulfilling work wherever they are.
Exactly.
Right.
So that means to say that, you know, if I am particularly doing, let's say, I worked as a deputy director for an organization, so I might be able to take those expertise and then...
Sure. So the idea is to take sort of the passion that you have, things you've been through in your life. So it's not just about skills. A lot of times that's the mistake, that we try to go out and just match our skills to the next venture.
Yes.
And so certainly you bring whatever skills you have or talent and education you have to whatever you do in life. However, I think what we talk about purpose-driven startup is we're really focused on helping people identify work that is fulfilling to them, not just something that they can do.
Right. Okay, so I understand that. What is the philosophy of your company?
So again, going back to purpose-driven startups. So for the startup community that we work with, that's sort of our focus, is folks who are trying to transition out of, you know, corporate America per se into something that they find to be more personally fulfilling. However, we also offer services for larger companies as well, sort of like branding, sales strategy development, things of that nature.
Wow. So give us the statistics on what's the status report on new businesses, you know?
So as you know, like 98% of like new businesses fail.
98?
Right? Yeah. It's pretty...
That's huge.
That's huge, right? So the idea, and that's why the passion is so important, because it's really difficult to make money in the beginning, and so we try to help them focus on the things that will make money and not spend a lot of money and time and energy focused on things that won't make money. So kind of narrowing down, focusing on what's important. But the other thing I think that's important is mentorship is a lot of times missing. So you can find even globally that internationally that you can find that people who are suffering from failure in startups a lot of times didn't have the resources, human capital resources necessary to succeed. However, what we can't negate is having a good idea in the first place.
Ooh.
Right?
So either you have a good idea
or you don't, right? And so a big part of the 98% that failed just didn't really have a good idea, right? And what that means typically is
Love it.
That they are trying to solve a problem that either is that they think is a problem, but they haven't validated with their particular customer segment that's a problem.
Okay.
Or they got the solution wrong.
Oh, they had the solution wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So, all right. So is that kind of like accounting for why businesses are failing? So we know 98%.
So I mean, businesses fail for a lot of reasons. Maybe they're undercapitalized. You know, there's a plethora of reasons why businesses fail. But we don't really even consider startups as businesses per se, right? That's one of the key.
That's interesting.
A startup is really like an idea in search of a sustainable business model, right?
Oh.
So if you look at it that way, you won't invest a lot of dollars in the beginning. If I call it a business, you don't have a business until you're making money.
Oh.
And just because you're making money doesn't mean it's a good business. It just means somebody paid you money for something, right? So.
Well, that's real.
That's the reality. So the idea, our idea and our philosophy is focusing and making sure that you really just are iterating on the idea until you find something that you can get paid for consistently, and then you can have a business.
Oh, I follow you now. Yeah. So just because you made money doesn't mean to say that you actually have a business.
Well, if you have a business, but it doesn't mean it's going to succeed sustainably, right? But the key is making money.
And I like the fact that when you address some of the roadblocks. So CATALYSTIC, what can they offer to try to change the system? You know that way.
So again, it's mentorship, but we're a full service. So we work with them to help them scale down the features of their product or service, and just focus on not spending a lot of money, but just getting research done, going out and validating their hypothesis, making sure that the problem that they're trying to solve isn't just a problem in their own head. They don't just have a focus group of one, but they have many people saying that this is a problem, right?
Oh, you really have to have some research there.
Yes, exactly.
Say focus group of one.
Many of them come and they just say, I think it's a problem.
Okay.
And so.
How do you turn that, do you turn them back around to do?
We try. I mean, you can't force anybody to do anything, but for most people, they are willing to say, I mean, we've had people that have come and have spent as much as $60,000 on an app and never made any money.
Seriously?
Yeah. We have another young lady that spent $40,000 on an app and never made a dime. And so trying to get them to pivot is difficult for a number of reasons, not the least of which they spent so much money and they've sort of financially invested, and that makes them, where your treasure is, there lies your heart. So their heart is in it because their money is gone. So sometimes it's emotionally challenging to get them to realize that they've already done that. But
so what can CATALYSTIC offer? What are the services that your company?
So again, mentorship, branding. We do a lot of web site and branding, logo design, just strategic branding, and then sales strategy planning.
Wow.
Also web app development, mobile app development.
And I think that's really important. So let's say if I'm, okay, I have like this great recipe for, you're smiling, but I have this great recipe for sweet potato pie. I'm known for my sweet potato pie.
Is that right?
I would like to mass market that. How would I approach your company to make my vision, make that happen?
Well, hopefully you would approach us to make it happen. And second of all, I think, you know, obviously you could come to the website, you can submit a form, or you can send an email. But the first step is we just walk through the idea itself.
Really?
Right? What is the idea? Why is your sweet potato pie better than anybody else's sweet potato pie? You know, who said it? Who said that to you besides your friends and family?
Oh,
right.
Oh, back to the market research.
Right. Exactly.
So me just saying that, well, my family loves it.
Yeah, exactly. And are they asking you for that outside of Thanksgiving?
That's true. That's
right?
true. That's true.
So, you know, those types of things.
I love it. I love it because I think we all have those visions and those ideas. So, where can we get more information on your company?
Certainly, you can go to www.catalysticllc.com. Also, we'll be launching a new site in the next week or so called purposedrivenstartup.com.
Wow.
And they can come, and we're actually offering seminars.
Wow.
Yep.
And I like your approach. You're friendly, yeah, but you say, well, who else likes your sweet potato pie, Ingrid?
It's really important.
And I think I would have to kind of like do, as you mentioned, some market research to really see.
I mean, we can do something really simple, right? We could set up a focus group, and we could, you know, get a couple of different, go to Whole Foods and get a sweet potato pie, go to get yours and see which one they like more. Okay. Right? Something very simple. So that's really not a hard problem to solve.
Hey, I love it because, you know, I really do make a good sweet potato pie. And you might see me out there. Thanks to Thomas, he's going to be helping. I'll be contacting you.
Yeah, I'll be sure to taste some of it for you.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And truly, on that note, it's important that you make dreams, to me, come true. So it's not just a dream, but it can actually make it happen.
A reality, yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll be talking with Wendy Gradison, President and Chief Executive Officer of PRS Incorporated. So stay tuned. Welcome to the show, Wendy. It's great to have you here. Wendy Gradison is fantastic. So tell us, first of all, let's start a little bit about yourself.
Great, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so pleased to have a chance to tell you about the work we do. Wendy Gradison, licensed clinical social worker, and I have been working with adults recovering from mental illness since 1980, and currently I'm the CEO of PRS, Psychiatric Rehab Services.
Wow, wonderful. And so what is the mission of PRS?
So PRS exists to help individuals who live with mental illness, who live with substance use disorders, mild intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorders such as Asperger's, or anyone facing a life crisis. We want to help those folks achieve safety, community integration, physical wellness, and recovery. So that's why we exist.
And you know, and that's so important. Give us a little bit of a status report on mental health from your organization's point of view.
Well, it's a good news and a bad news kind of scenario in the U.S., I would say, at this point. The good news is we know what works. We know how to help folks with mental illness. There is hope for recovery. Right. We know that if you put in place the right skill training and supports and medication, people will be able to move on in their lives. The bad news is that there's so much stigma around mental illness. Yes. You know, you think about somebody who broke a leg. They would have no problem sharing that with their friends, family, faith community, coworkers. Right. But if you live with mental illness, it tends to be a secret. People don't want to talk about it. So because of that stigma, people don't seek help. People aren't as aware as they might be of what's out there. And then finally, I would say another issue is there's really not enough resources being put in place, not enough funding everywhere in the country to help people who are recovering.
Not enough funding. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So tell us about some of the, you offer the services, a little bit about the services that you offer?
Sure. So PRS stands for Psychiatric Rehabilitation Services. And what that means is that we provide the skill training and the supports. We're not the docs. We're not the 50-minute therapy hour. We work side by side with clients just to help them move forward in their lives. So services such as supported employment, helping clients choose, get, and keep competitive jobs. Supported housing, helping clients maintain their housing. Day programs, and we provide these services throughout Northern Virginia and in the District of Columbia.
Oh, that's powerful. So what are some of the barriers that an individual faces? Whether you mentioned the stigma, are there other barriers?
Yeah, I think the stigma is a really big one. The lack of awareness for young adults in particular, really not wanting to admit that there really is this challenge that they've got that they're going to need help surmounting, and not realizing that there's hope and that there is recovery. And so sometimes that keeps people from even seeking help. So those are some of the barriers.
So if an individual is watching this program and say, you know what she's speaking about is something that's going on in my family, what's my next step?
There are a number of things you can do. One of the services we offer, we call it PRS Crisis Link, and it is a 24/7 hotline and text line. So if you have any issues at all, suicide prevention is an area that we focus on, as well as any kind of problems that you're having in your life, or you just need someone to talk to, that's a place to start.
Crisis Link.
Crisis Link. In addition, you can call us, you can email us, you can contact your local mental health center, which are called community services boards here in Virginia.
Okay.
And I would also suggest that even if the member of your family or your loved one is really not ready to get help, you go ahead and call. You know, and there'll be somebody to help you sort out what the next steps are to help your loved one reach out for help as well.
Because I would imagine that in a time of crisis, that's when you feel most alone.
That's right.
And you're like, okay, so what do I do next? I know something's happening here. So that's good to know that this is something. Yeah. Tell us about some of the successes that PRS.
Well, we're really proud of our successes. We last year, of our clients who wanted to become employed, 62% of them got jobs, and that is 3 times the national average.
62%.
That's right.
That's amazing.
And they choose the jobs they want, and they work with our employment specialists to help them choose, get, and keep those jobs. And then another statistic we're proud of is that last year, 97% of our clients stayed out of psychiatric hospitals. That meant they were able to stay in their own communities successfully.
97%. That's huge.
Yes.
Because that means to say they're not, you know, having a breakdown, an episode, you know, medication is, you know, going well.
Exactly. And they're getting the kind of supports they need.
And support is critical.
It is, and you know, so much of it is about our wonderful staff. You mentioned that we are considered one of the best nonprofits to work for in the United States, and I just want to say a word about that. It's so important to us because the reason our clients succeed is that our staff are so terrific at engaging with clients, helping to form those trusting relationships so that then they can provide the skill training and the supports to help clients figure out what their goals are and to help them achieve those goals.
So is your staff inside community-based organizations?
Well, that's a great question. Some of our staff are in our day programs, which are housed, you know, throughout Fairfax County and in DC. But many of our staff are in the field. They're going with clients to employers. They are going to clients' homes. So they're going with clients to their doctor's appointments. Whatever those clients want and need is where our staff will be.
Good. That's does PRS Incorporated need volunteers?
Yes, we always need additional help so that we can expand our capacity and help more people in need. For example, with our PRS Crisis Link hotline and text line, we are always looking for volunteers who are interested in learning how to provide that service. We provide terrific training and providing a couple hours a week of hotline and text line services.
Wow, so that's important because, and what are some of the positions you said are available for volunteers?
Well, so certainly on the hotline and text line, certainly at PRS, administration, in our day programs, board service. We're always looking for people who are interested in serving on our board of directors. So just contact us or go to our website because we do list volunteer opportunities there.
And I think that's really very important because one thing is that now people know how to reach it. If there's one thing that you want to leave our viewers with, what's the one thing that you would really like them to remember of this segment?
Well, I would say we know that 1 in 4 people lives with mental illness, and what I want those people and their loved ones and family members to know is there's hope and there is recovery.
Oh, that's powerful. Hope and recovery. Again, let's give the website.
It's www.prsInc.org.
Excellent. Well, I have to thank you for being here on the show. It's fantastic, and the service, I wish you continued good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Coming up next, we'll have a moment with Alyssa and Isis, and then hear a commentary from Anya Wheeler on why is it important. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Ingrid's World. I am your host, Ingrid Paris Hicklin. Now, let's have a moment with Alyssa and Isis. Well, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi.
So, this segment, having a moment with you, is very important, and I want to talk about friendship. So, what does it mean to you?
Friendship to me, it means like that you need to treat a friend nice and kind, and it means that you should never give up, and yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
What does that mean to you?
Friendship is like a loyalty, a bond together that no one could ever break between people.
Right. So when you are friends with someone, what does that really mean?
To me, like, I would do anything if, like, to get a friend. If there's someone that's sitting all by themselves at lunch, then you should go and sit with them. There's no reason why not.
And what does being a friend mean to you, Isis?
I would stand up for them if somebody was bullying them, or if they were lonely, nobody wanted to be their friend, I would offer to be their friend.
So I want to ask you a question a little bit. Who's your best friend?
Isis, honestly.
Isis, honestly. Wow, okay. And Isis, who's your best friend?
Alyssa, of course.
Oh, so of course. So both of you are friends?
Yeah, we know each other for a very, very long time.
Really? How long has that been?
Since we were 3. Yes.
Oh, that's right. We found pictures. That's right. You guys were 3 years old and became friends. Has your friendship changed in all these years?
No, it just got more powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, really? How did it get more powerful?
Because it started building up and building up because we kept hanging out together.
Wow.
And we started trusting each other more with our things. We can swap things and trust them that they won't lose it.
Wow, that's amazing. So 10 years from now, do you think you all are going to be friends?
Yes.
Yes, and my moral is that you shouldn't get mad at people for like a stupid reason, and you shouldn't, like, for example, if it was a fight from a very long time ago, then you still shouldn't be mad at them. You should give them another chance.
I love it. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. And do you have a philosophy too?
I think that you should never be mad at somebody for too long. And also, don't be rude. And a friendship that lasts at least 10 years lasts a lifetime.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so hopefully our viewers are out here saying, I think I need to be a friend like Alyssa, and I need to be a friend like Isis. So points to remember, don't be mad forever. So I just can't say, oh, you know what she did in 2008? Blam. Okay. All right, you all were wonderful. Thank you, Alyssa, and thank you, Isis, for a great segment. Coming up next, we'll be talking to Anya Wheeler, who will tell us why it is important. So, Anya, why is it important?
Hey, it's February, and guess what that means? It's Black History Month. The month is all about celebrating the pioneers of Black excellence and educating your youth on where they come from. Many names come to mind when discussing African Americans who have made a difference, like Louis Armstrong, Jesse Owens, and Ruby Bridges. In 2015, the Black community has made excellent progress, with Misty Copeland becoming the first Black premier dancer of the American Ballet Theater. It is important to celebrate these people's accomplishments as they are a huge part of American history.
Wow, that was great. Thank you, Anya, for your commentary. That's fantastic. This was another fun show to produce, thanks to our awesome guests. So my quote this time is from Michelle Obama. Success isn't about how much money you make, it's about the difference that you make in people's lives. Thank you for watching Ingrid's World, and don't forget to find us on Facebook for instant Ingrid World news, or see ingridsworld.org for more information. Thanks for watching. This episode of Ingrid's World is underwritten by CATALYSTIC. Their website is www.catalysticllc.com. CATALYSTIC transforms ideas into opportunities by facilitating working professionals' transition into entrepreneurship.